Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Lameezy coming at you live from fanboygaming.com. Happy New Year's to everybody. Happy 2013. Hope everybody had a fun and safe holiday. You know what I'm saying? Didn't get into too much trouble. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, looking forward to the NFL playoffs. Getting ready to jump off right now, and I just thought it'd be appropriate since everybody's giving their predictions, for me to give my predictions on who I think is going to advance to the Super Bowl and ultimately raise the Lombardi Trophy and be crowned NFL Super Bowl champions. So, first, I'm going to start with the obvious, okay? Well, and what I think is the obvious choice here, okay? In the AFC, the 6 playoff teams, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, the Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, the Baltimore Ravens, okay, and then we got the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots getting the 1 and 2 seed. In my opinion, it would be a monumental upset, okay, if either New England or Denver does not make it to the Super Bowl. So what that means is that congratulations, Cincinnati, Houston, Baltimore, Indianapolis. Congratulations for getting to the playoffs, but sorry, you're not going, okay? I have the New England Patriots playing the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game, and the winner of that game, I believe, is going to be the New England Patriots, okay? Reason being is because as great as Denver's season has been this year, that's a lot to do in 1 year, okay? And yes, they have Peyton Manning, but I'm sorry, Peyton Manning doesn't play defense, okay? And the reality of it is that the matchup between New England's offense and the Denver Broncos defense, New England has shredded them the last few times that they have played against each other, okay? As a matter of fact, I believe last year in the playoffs, Tom Brady threw like 5 or 6 touchdown passes in the first half. Yeah, that's a lot. And I'm sorry, but Peyton Manning is not going to shred New England's defense like that. So I have the New England Patriots going to the Super Bowl, representing the AFC. Now on the NFC side, this is where it gets interesting, because I have here as the 6 playoff teams, we have the Atlanta Falcons and the 49ers getting the 1 and 2 seed, okay, with Atlanta getting the 1 seed. We have the Seattle Seahawks playing the Washington Redskins in the wild card game. And we have the Green Bay Packers playing the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, Green Bay is going to be the home team in that game. Now here's my thing here, okay, is these wild card games are going to be interesting because, first of all, okay, let's talk about the Seahawks and the Redskins here for a second, right? Now, RG3 has to be one of the most single-handedly electrifying players in the game of football right now besides Adrian Peterson. Now, the thing of it is, though, is that this is just my opinion. The Seattle Seahawks are a better team than the Washington Redskins. They are. Okay, they have a better offense, they have better defense, they have better special teams. However, you cannot discount what RG3 brings to the table. Here's a dude that can single-handedly, if the game is close enough, be the difference between a win and a loss for his team. So, with all those things being thrown into consideration there, my pick to win this game and advance to the next round of the playoffs is going to be the Seattle Seahawks. Simply because there's just too much to overcome. Too much to overcome. Would I be shocked if the Washington Redskins win this game? No, I wouldn't. But I still don't think they're going to win. So I have Seattle advancing on, right? Now, the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers, same deal for the most part, except for the Green Bay Packers have to cooperate a little bit more for the Minnesota Vikings to be able to pull out the upset. And what I mean by that is that there's a whole lot bad that the Green Bay Packers have to do. I know they just beat them in Week 17. I know that. But there's a difference between playing a team and your season is on the line versus playing a team and you're just kind of playing to get ahead in the playoffs. Okay, there's a difference, right? And my thing is that if Adrian Peterson is able to pretty much single-handedly eliminate the Green Bay Packers, this is a team that just last year went 15-1. Okay, 15-1. 15 wins, 1 loss. Almost went undefeated throughout the whole regular season. And, he subsequently lost in the playoffs last year, yes, to a very physical New York Giants team. But in that game, there was a lot of drop passes, there was fumbles, and Green Bay just looked totally out of sorts. I don't really see that happening in this game. I think this game, Green Bay is remembering how they let a lot of people down last year, how they very much underachieved, even though they had a really good regular season last year in the playoffs. Now, granted, they kind of underachieved a little bit this year, but that has a lot to do with injuries and so on and so forth. But now they're starting to really get healthy at the right time. And Aaron Rodgers is just playing out of his mind. And he's just like, well, if you see. Bottom line, have you seen the ESPN quotes that he just did recently when they said how much he was getting blitzed? He was like, well, if you're going to blitz me like that again, I look forward to playing y'all again. So I just foresee that Aaron Rodgers is going to light up Minnesota Vikings like a Christmas tree. And I don't think that the Vikings are going to be able to put up enough points to be able to win the game. So I have Green Bay moving ahead and advance to the next round. Now, Atlanta, if Seattle beats Washington, okay, Atlanta's going to get them in the Georgia Dome. And Green Bay is going to play San Francisco in the divisional round. Now, this is where it also gets interesting again because, to be quite honest with you, Seattle is that team that represents the biggest threat to a team like Atlanta. They're going to be physical. They have really big corners. They have a running game. They don't really turn over the ball too much, and they have great special teams. Okay, Atlanta, after a week's rest, and to be quite honest, Atlanta has not really played well the last month of the season. Okay, they just haven't. And even throughout the regular season, they were winning games by 3 points, by 2 points. Granted, yes, they have a really good regular season record. But I really don't have a whole lot of faith and belief in them. So therefore, I have Seattle beating Atlanta in the Georgia Dome to advance in the NFC Championship game. Now, the real toss-up game in the entire playoffs, besides on the AFC side, New England playing the Denver Broncos, is San Francisco playing the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is where it gets dicey because here's my belief here is that the biggest thing that scares the heck out of San Francisco is an offense that is explosive, that's designed to score points. Because fundamentally, the weakness in San Francisco is their cornerbacks. And for the most part, Green Bay is a really good passing team. Okay, as a matter of fact, almost to a fault because they have a tendency not being very balanced in the run game, so to speak. But the reality of it is, though, is I think Green Bay is that team this year that I think is on the mission to really right the wrongs of last year in the fact that they underachieved and they flamed out in the playoffs early. I just believe that Green Bay has the tools to really give San Francisco some problems, okay? They have some level of physicality in their front seven to be able to deal with San Francisco's physical running game on offense. And they really represent a big threat to them in the sense that they also have the ability to cover. Okay, they have really good cover corners. They create turnovers. They do all these types of things that are going to give San Francisco some problems. And granted, there is a little bit of a quarterback controversy in San Francisco too, because let Colin Kaepernick, as great as the season he's had over the last month and a half, let him start to struggle a little bit in the playoffs. The thing that's going to happen is that you're going to see a situation where Harbaugh is going to yank him in favor of Alex Smith, who, I don't care what you say, really can't have a whole lot of confidence right now in himself. So you're kind of messing with team chemistry a little bit, and I think ultimately that's going to be San Francisco's undoing. So I have the Seattle Seahawks meeting the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. Now, this game, I believe, is going to come down to really a couple of key factors. One being the ability to create turnovers. And I just believe that at the end of the day, veteran leadership in play is going to be the determining factor on who's really going to win the game, especially in a big game such as the NFC Championship game. And I just think that ultimately Russell Wilson, who's really taking really good care of the ball throughout the regular season, this is the game where I feel like he's going to have some problems and he's going to throw some critical mistakes. and the Green Bay Packers are going to be able to capitalize on that. So I have the Green Bay Packers meeting the New England Patriots in Super Bowl number 47. All right, so I know everybody's going to have some comments about that, especially people that are now newfound Broncos fans and whatnot. So that's just my opinion, though. Then again, I could be wrong. But however, I do make some compelling arguments as to why everything's going to shake out the way that I think it's going to be. So, as with anything else, hit me up on the site. And until then, I see y'all out there on the sticks. Fanboy. All right.